Welcome back to another episode of Catching Up with Katie. So on these segments, me, Abigail, Nate, whoever else we decide to invite, we chat, we answer questions from y'all from either Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all those comment sections. You are welcome to leave comments that you would want for us to include. And yeah, I honestly don't know what we're talking about. That is Abigail's wheelhouse. So turning it to you.
Well, it's Halloween.
It is.
But this will be posted on Monday, so it won't be Halloween anymore. But
Yeah.
we're gonna have some Halloween chat.
Okay.
Just
Sounds exciting.
it is just like, I don't know, memories of Halloween growing up, like what costumes you remember, what was your favorite, what candy you like, what you hated to see like in your basket, what you threw away.
Okay, I vividly remember. So we obviously lived on this farm. We did not ever have a trick-or-treater. There was nowhere for us to go trick-or-treating unless we went to someone else's neighborhood. So we went to my Aunt Cindy's neighborhood, and at that time, I feel like no one out of their neighborhood has moved, so no one really has kids anymore there. They're all kind of like retired age. But back in the day, everyone had kids the same age, so it was just this giant neighborhood and like a gazillion kids, and it's about 20 minutes away, and so that's where we went every year. And in like a cul-de-sac near her, there was this one house that always had full-size Butterfingers.
Come on.
Just absolutely amazing. Like, I just think about it every year.
The full size, those are crazy.
I mean, they had the budget.
Yeah.
They had the budget, and they didn't give them to you either. They set them out.
You could take two.
That's brave.
I was such a bad kid. I always took multiple. Because I'm so picky, so I hated most of what people gave me.
She just rated the Butterfingers.
Butterfingers, Kit Kat, and Reese's. All my faves. Everything else, I hate it. Don't want it. I can't tell you another candy that I like.
You still like them.
I still like Butterfingers, Kit Kats, and Reese's. That's it, though.
Nice.
And, like, Reese's adjacent products. So, like, the Fast Break.
Yeah.
The sticks. The Reese's sticks.
Those are the best ones.
What about Reese's Pieces?
No, absolutely not.
I don't like
Sorry.
them either.
I don't do M&Ms. I don't do M&Ms adjacent. I don't do that.
I like peanut butter M&Ms.
I like peanut butter M&Ms.
Have you ever had those coffee ones?
No.
And now you're just getting gross.
I was
What?
obsessed.
They sound good.
They are good. They're coffee nut M&Ms.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
What was your favorite like thing to get? If someone was putting it in your thing, you were like, oh, yes.
Reese's.
Reese's.
Dots. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say she just said like absolutely not.
Dots or Smarties.
Reese's for sure.
Reese's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's elite.
I'm glad that
For
no
sure.
one here is a child and says Reese.
I had to work against
You know who I
it.
think would say Reese's? Matt.
Yeah.
I feel like Matt
Yeah.
would say Reese's.
He would say Reese's.
By the way, if you don't know who Matt is, because he hasn't been around for a really long time,
I did see comments asking if it was just Nate solo now.
he's coming back. He's been touring with Post Malone, which is
Just
probably
so
a little cooler than me.
lame.
So anyway,
Matt
But-
or Nate also did a show with
You
Post
did?
Malone
Yeah,
in
it was
Nashville.
really cool.
How
you
was
saw him on
that?
the golf cart. That's
I
the
did.
only time
he
you
zipped
saw
right
him.
by me. I almost jumped out, so he hit me. So then we'd have to talk. But I decided that probably wasn't the best move.
Okay, what was your favorite costume? I'm trying to think of mine.
Of all time,
Yeah,
I
I
could
guess
probably
what you
rattle
can
off-
remember.
What was your first? What did your parents dress you up as your first costume?
I have no idea.
What?
I think
Probably
I was the earliest photo I can remember. I was a pirate,
I was a cow. My first year.
but I was probably 4 or 5.
I was like 1. I was a cow.
Yeah, I don't know. I never went trick or treating.
Oh yeah,
We've talked about this.
you were a trunk or treater.
I only attended trunk or treat. I have never been trick or treating.
So
Never
what's
in
the
your life.
difference?
Trunk or treat
Like-
is church parking lot.
I understand it was more church based, but like
Everyone just like some people would decorate their trunk, like put spider webs in it, and just put a bowl of candy in the middle,
What's the thought
and you
process on
go
doing
around.
that rather than a neighborhood?
I guess that it's safer.
You
And
know
it's-
how like there's like the conspiracy that people put stuff in kids' candy, and yet there's never been a case of it. And the one time it was a dad poisoning his own son. In the
Did not
80s.
know that.
There's never been one case.
Never?
That's good.
But the one, like I said, there's one case of it happening, but it was a man, and they tried to pass it off as it getting poisoned. Like the kid got poisoned during trick or treating, but he had given the kid a pixie stick
Ah, not a pixie
with like
stick.
cyanide in it or something. I need to be
That's crazy.
fact checked, but I watched a true crime thing on it, and it's like this huge thing. It's like, okay, let's be real here. People who have like drugs, they like no one's giving their drugs away to children.
Yeah,
It's not happening.
yeah, no. I do think for my future children, probably no on the pixie sticks though, just because it's like you never
it's-
know what that could be.
It's pure sugar.
It
too.
is.
I'm honestly a no on most candy.
I
For
guess
me,
from a parent
Poor
perspective, I don't know. Okay, if you watched Hubie Halloween, which we watched,
You
it
made
at the-
me watch
we
it.
watched it in
Good
the hotel
movie.
room.
I lost brain
Thank you,
cells.
Good
Nate.
movie.
Amazing movie. His rule is you build a tower out of your candy that you get, and whatever you get to before it falls, you keep. Whatever is left that you haven't stacked on the tower, and whatever falls, you donate.
so whatever didn't make the pile,
Yes.
you have to give
Whatever
away.
didn't make the tower, you donate.
I wonder how big of a
Pretty good
tower I
rule.
could build. Should we build a tower?
Oh my gosh. We should play Jenga one day.
While we're talking, we should play Jenga.
I have it, but I have like a party version of Jenga where we like wrote on all the blocks. and it's
Jenga
like
or Jenga?
Jenga.
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 No.
It's an E.
It doesn't. It's
Yeah.
not an
It's
A.
not ing.
It's not Jenga.
It's
You're saying it like an A.
it's Jenga.
I say Jenga.
Okay,
Jenga.
sound off in the comments. Who's right?
Jenga.
Anyway,
Anyway, I have tipsy Jenga that I think would be fun if we did the sip and paint.
you have to be.
What is a sip and paint?
Okay, so this was a super good. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. So it's where you can choose what the beverage is. Okay, it could be adult or not adult. Like I would probably use adult grape juice if I was doing it. But it's where you all sip on something while you're painting the same photo, or you choose like a scene to paint or whatever. It's not paint by numbers, but we could do paint by numbers and make it easy.
No.
No? Okay, sorry.
I think
Just
we should
kidding.
paint portraits of each other.
Or do we have like a reference photo and we all do our own interpretation? Holiday, like it's it's getting cold.
Yeah.
We all wear
We
sweaters.
could do a holiday party.
We all have to-
holiday
Wow.
sip and party.
We all have to wear sweaters,
Yeah.
like holiday sweaters.
We should make a vlog out of that.
We should. We should.
I think everyone should make something, should like make a food and have to bring it.
Like a potluck.
Yeah.
I could do that because I'm always the one just like supplying all the food.
So you're not taking on absolutely everything.
So back to Halloween.
I only have one vivid memory of Halloween.
Okay, this sounds cryptic.
No, it's not cryptic. I was maybe probably between 5 and 7. I was super excited for Halloween, and we were all going to go as a family. My dad was getting all dressed up, all done up. He's being Darth Maul. So full face paint. I think he kept messing up, and the face paint took him so long we didn't get to go.
No.
And so that's
Ruined Halloween.
That's ingrained in my mind that
Oh,
we didn't go trick or
no.
treating because the face paint took 4 hours and it got too late.
No
All
one
the
ever
porch
saw
lights
it.
just started turning off on the street. And it was over.
No.
That's sad.
That is so sad.
But I don't remember what my costume was.
I do remember being a go-go girl one year.
Okay, I'm just going to have to kind of like rattle through things that I did. I was a princess for like 4 years straight, just different ones. But I was a cow, and then I was a cowboy, not a cowgirl. I had a mustache.
Okay.
Cowboy. Then I was a cowgirl. I was a hunter, a vet. I had my dog dressed up with like all the vet wrap on it and stuff. I was a vet. Princess a lot. Rapunzel 1 year.
Have you ever been a deer and the other dude been a hunter?
No.
Good.
I feel like we should do that. It's always been cliche.
It is.
When I got a little bit older, I was a hippie 1 year, a witch 1 year, and we did like full like green. Jonathan's mom and dad were like, you couldn't be the devil, a witch, or anything like that for Halloween. So I don't know what he was. That was off limits. So, but I was glad. I liked being the witch that year. I had like moles on my face, like big old warts and stuff. I'm trying to think back to other ones. 1 year I was like, sometimes you look back and you're like, why did my mother let me do this? So I was always a lot taller, and like I grew so fast. Like I matured very fast, hit puberty really early. So I remember being in 6th grade and not being able to fit in like normal 11-year-old girl costumes. And so we went to like, I don't even know, Spirit, hell, whatever. And I had to look in the adult section. And so, I just had a vivid memory. I did this twice. I had to wear adult costumes when I was really young. And so one of them was Wonder Woman. And instead of getting a black wig, I decided to spray paint my hair. It was so bad. I put on America really long fingernails. The only makeup I had on was like metallic lipstick.
Nice.
I had a pot belly and no boobs in this adult costume. It was so bad. I'll have to find pictures. And then the other one was like the next year. I was 11 or 12, and I was just like a slutty Eskimo, and it was so bad.
Oh,
I
that
know.
sounds cool.
I was 11 or 12
Oh,
though.
well.
Like nothing would cover my butt. Like it was too, like I was an Eskimo.
It wasn't slutty on purpose?
No, it was just that I couldn't find anything.
Oh.
And so it was terrible. So anyway, after that, I think I quit trick-or-treating around like 12 or 13. And I can't remember, after that, me and Jonathan have done a lot of costumes. Like we were Santa and Mrs. Claus. We were Robin Hood, Maid Marian, Shrek and Fiona, Robin Hood, Red Riding Hood and the Wolf this year. I don't know what's my favorite. I look back, my favorite one to make fun of myself with is Wonder Woman. It was just bad. Like that's my parents pull up those pictures. Like it's terrible.
I need to see that.
We'll have to go through the photo albums to get those. Yeah. They're not on social media. I don't know. Mom was Octomom 1 year. You know that mama that had 8 babies and she was like trying to look like Angelina Jolie?
John and Kate.
Yes.
So my mom dressed up as like she got a black wig, wore a robe, and hung 8 baby dolls off of her, and then like really overdrew her lips.
That's cool.
That was her. That was her thing that year.
I need to go back and see like what I was when I was a kid, because I really don't remember like a single one. They just weren't. I guess they just weren't memorable to me.
I really liked the ones where, like, we had the dogs involved. So, like, when I was a hunter, I had a dog named Cookie growing up. She died when I was in college. She was freaking, like, 18 years old. But she was always involved, and she hated it. Like, she was crotchety. She did not enjoy it. But I was, like, when I was a vet, we wrapped her up. Like, she was sick. She was a black and white Beagle Jack Russell mix. And then when I was a hunter, we put a red dot on her side and then put, like, deer ears on her.
Well,
it was funny.
Moo is a bee today.
I know. I felt bad. I remembered last night that we didn't get to go look through all the other costumes.
I remembered when I was leaving, but I was like, I feel like this will fit. And it did. It was a little snug on her belly.
Okay,
but it fits. Like, it won't come off her, which is good. But
so, for those that don't know, Moo, her dachshund, has been going to daycare, and they had to wear costumes today.
They're having a contest. And when I walked in, like 3 of them were like, oh my gosh, she's a bee. I didn't see. There was one other dog in the lobby, and it wasn't dressed up. So
What if she? Because you didn't want her to be left out. What if
I
she's
know.
left
What if she's
out
the
by
only
being
one?
the only one?
Murphy, her brother, not really, but
Her cousin.
no, they're closer than that. Her god brother also goes to daycare, and Paige went last night to get him a costume, and they didn't have anything because it's the night before Halloween, and so he's not wearing one either.
Oh.
It's just me.
She was nervous because she didn't want to look stupid, like being the only one.
Oh, Moo was nervous. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We should have dressed up.
We
Yeah.
should have dressed up for this. Yeah, we should have, because our Halloween party, or both of our parties, was last weekend. So we've already done our dressing up.
Yeah.
Nate's just weird and didn't dress up at
Yeah.
I
all.
didn't go to anything.
You do have a newborn.
I stayed home.
I stand that you should dress her up as something and take a photo of
She
her.
had a spooky onesie on. Had ghosts.
You can't tell me, you couldn't dress her up as a burrito and take a picture for me?
That might can be arranged.
You can't do a little something for us?
Yeah.
Think of others.
We'll see what we can scrounge together when we get home.
I got a hot dog costume for a dog. We could throw that on her.
That'd probably work. That would probably work.
We could have been the Sanderson
I call Sarah.
sisters. You can't be Sarah.
I'm Sarah.
No,
Wait,
you're Winifred.
I'm Winifred.
Who made?
I would clearly be Sarah. You would be Mary.
I will not be Mary.
You have to be Mary. You're the brunette.
I will not be bullied into being Mary in my own
What's
house.
wrong with her?
What's wrong with Mary?
What's wrong with Mary?
Why don't you want to be Mary then?
Because I'm blind. I can't be Mary.
I have red tint.
He has red tint. He has to be Winifred. It just works out this way. Who would you cast as Mary?
I want to be Sarah.
No, I have to be Sarah.
If I can't
We
be
could
Sarah, I wanna
possibly
be
make
Winifred.
Nate be Mary.
Nate can't be Mary.
I have red hair.
Well, you'd have to wear a wig either way.
Right. But it's just naturally.
I agree. I agree.
It's just a slight tint. I don't have red
Don't wanna
hair.
be-
I agree that that's the obvious choice.
Right.
I don't want to be Mary.
You would have a broom and you would have a vacuum.
I'm not-
Isn't mine a
no.
broom too? We both have brooms and you have a vacuum.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back in high school.
She has the cool tall hair though.
She does. She's got the
the big-
cool little
No, I want the long blonde hair.
Oh, one year you should be Winifred and Macy should be what's the dude's name? Billy. Billy.
No, he should be Billy, and she should. Oh yeah, I guess it would
think
be
it'd be
funnier.
funny.
She always dresses as dudes for Halloween. Like she was Pee Wee Herman, Benjamin Franklin.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
So she goes for like funny Halloween.
She goes all out funny.
She goes funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all still haven't been able to come to one of my Halloween parties.
I know.
That's like really
Haven't
sad.
been able to, or
I haven't been
Hasn't
able.
wanted
Choose not
to.
to.
Able.
What was going on last year?
It was something, for sure.
I'm sure it was.
Matt didn't come either.
He's never been to one.
Mm-mm.
Neither one of them.
Nate didn't even come to my birthday party.
Okay, your birthday party was a little on the last minute side and a little on the lame side.
We didn't get an Evite.
We did invite you though.
You did.
It was kind of like a that day
It was.
situation.
It was. It was a little
we'll
awkward.
prepare this time.
Yeah. Have we told the story about what your dad said to me that night?
No. Or do you tell it?
Okay,
You have to
so
give the backstory.
yeah, that's fine. I don't think he watched. So there's a guy that was doing work on the shop, and we at this point of my birthday, we had only talked like a little bit, and we had never. I don't think we had even hung out yet.
So like they did go on to like date off and on for a little bit.
Yeah. But so
There was an office romance. It was awesome. It gave me all the drama I needed. Anyway, continue.
The only people at this last minute party were him,
Wesley.
the guy that he works with, me, Katie, Jonathan, Matt, and then your dad, Matt. And
Yeah, no one else.
No, that was it. And they were only
What a
there because
party.
they had been working in the shop, and so they were just invited to stay for dinner. And so your dad, we're all sitting there, and your dad is like, "So Abigail, you still single?" Or no, he said you still boyfriendless.
That's what he said. He didn't even say
You
single.
still boyfriendless.
He's still boyfriendless.
As you're sitting next to
As
him.
everyone else around knows the deal, but like he didn't know, so it was just like everyone looking at each other like. It was so
and he's just
awkward.
so blissfully ignorant. Like,
It was funny though.
we told him afterwards.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I didn't know.
No one tells me anything.
So, Abigail, you still boyfriendless? Just out of nowhere on your birthday.
Everyone just started laughing.
Your birthday party. And he's
Right.
like, you alone?
A year older, and he's like, "So
Still lonely.
still alone, huh?"
Matt. My father.
It was funny though.
He
Should have
used
been
to
there.
say he used to embarrass me so bad.
So did my dad when I was little.
I told him when I was about 11 or 12, I told him that he couldn't embarrass me. And he took it not as like oh, she's really confident. He took it as a challenge and proved me wrong many a time. So,
I can imagine.
yeah.
He seems like he'd be really good at embarrassing you.
Yeah. One time, this is just the one memory that comes to mind immediately. So I went to a private school in Nashville, and I wasn't the most popular kid, but I was like the weird country kid, And we had
Weird
a
horse girl.
yeah, horse girl. Like, and I look back at things and I deserved bullying in some spots. But we had this 1978 Ford F-150 that had like won all these car shows, not with my dad, but like the previous owner. And it was emerald green. It was loud. It was like really jacked up on huge tires. Like it was his Friday truck. Like he drove it on Fridays and he would pick me up from school on Fridays. So I loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But when it pulled through the car pickup, like everyone was looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
it was like a eyesore, you couldn't not look at it. And so with everyone's attention, he pulls up, I go get in, and he looks out in the crowd and he's like, "So which one of these is Cooper? The guy you got a crush on? Which one is it?"
Did you tell him? Was he there?
I don't even remember, but me and Cooper never happened, So
I bet that's
You
why.
think it's because of that?
it might have been.
He was like, "Oh,
It was really just because Cooper, I said, I grew really fast. I was like 5'7" in the 7th or 8th grade. Like I was so tall. I think at this point I was like in the 7th or 8th grade, and so I was just really tall. And Cooper was the only kid taller than me. He ended up not being that tall overall. It was just at that point.
yeah."
Like, that was
It's hard
what was
to find.
That was what was
when you're
going for me.
5'7" at 11 years old.
I'm trying to think. Maybe I was 5'4" or something like that. But I hit my 5'9" as like a freaking freshman or sophomore. Like I was so quick. But yeah, so that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was always little. I didn't grow up early.
When did you? I could see that.
I was a little kid.
You're a little
When did you
scrawny
shoot
kid.
up?
High school,
High school?
How tall are you?
6.
With boots on?
6'2", with boots. Maybe now that I'm getting a little older and shrinking a little, maybe 5'11" and 3/4.
I don't know that we're shrinking by
You think
30.
you're shrinking?
I'm not growing.
How tall would you say someone is if they say that they're 6 foot tall with boots on?
6 foot with boots, they're probably 5'9" or 10.
5'10".
Okay, so
I'm not
there's
six
a
with
new
boots.
there's a new guy that she's
not
kind of
about
interested in, and she showed me his profile. So he admitted to being 6 foot with boots on. He said he's 5'10". If he openly says he's 5'10", there's no way he's 5'10".
I think he's 5'10" if he says it.
I think he's 5'10".
They always add an inch or two.
But he said 6 foot with boots on.
Yeah.
Okay, but who's gonna be like if he's 5'11" with boots on? No one's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? He can get away. 6 foot sounds a whole lot better.
I will
Same-
say this. I think a lot of guys do lie, but also the last time I was measured as 5'5", and I have 5'3" on my profile. Because I feel like when guys, specifically guys that are like 5'8" to under 6 foot, let's just say that. If they see 5'5", I feel like they're like, that's too tall. I just feel like it looks like a tall
You're
number.
admitting to lying
It looks like I'm taller than I am.
on your dating profile.
I think realistically I'm probably like 5'4".
You said you were measured at 5'5".
But I had shoes on. So I'm probably like 5'4".
Probably 5'4".
So it's like I could be 5'3".
You don't always keep the best posture.
Exactly.
maybe-
With my posture, sitting
real life.
down, I'd probably someone would look at me and be like, she's 5'3".
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like to go by.
You're like, I'm just so small. Like, I can't.
I'm just so petite.
I can't. It's too windy for me
I would
today.
just blow away. I do think though when you see 5'5", it looks like
Coming
a tall
from someone
height.
who's 5'9", I've like
Okay, but imagine if you were a guy and you were 5'8".
I
And you
dated one. He hated it.
Okay, but you're the girl. Okay. You're the
the
guy.
girl.
You're the guy, and you're 5'8". You're looking, you're insecure about your height. Whatever. You don't want
There's 3
someone to
inches
make you
discrepancy
feel
there.
short.
If you're 5'8", you put on some boots, you're 5'10".
But what if you don't wear boots?
Then I wouldn't be dating him. If cowboy boots aren't in your closet, then that's not really my type.
Well, it's not that they're not in your closet, but it's not like you wear them every day. Jonathan doesn't wear his boots every day.
He wears a form of boots.
Crocs.
Okay, well,
he wears Crocs every
but
day.
he's 6'3",
He does wear-
flat-footed,
He
so
does wear Crocs every day.
he doesn't need help. He's just a big man, so it's
How
okay.
tall is he?
6'2" or 6'3".
So you're saying they
Flat-footed.
have to wear boots
There's no way.
unless they're...
Yeah,
We're about the same height.
we measured.
I thought me and Jonathan were about the same height.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna keep a close eye the next time I'm around him. See
He
if I'm
doesn't
looking up at all.
seem 6'3" to me.
With boots on, he's 6'3", so he's like 6'2", 6'1". I don't know.
So we're about the
gonna
same
say-
height.
He's flat-footed 6'2". I know for a fact because we
Okay.
measured him.
Okay.
He's a big boy.
So they only have to wear boots if they're below 6 foot.
Yes.
Nah. No.
When
As long as I
when
don't wear
I dated a
heels.
shorty, and I'm going to call him a shorty because he himself was horrible. So I hope he sees this and hears me calling him short. So if you're actually 5'8", you're wonderful. This guy just wasn't. So I want to, dig the knife in a little bit. But it's been like 10 years. I need to
You're
get
allowed
over
to
it.
call people short if you're 5'9".
He was shorter
that's
than me.
the rule. Yeah.
He was shorter than me. So like I was not allowed to wear heels. I was not like I would have to like kind of
Yeah,
like,
I've seen
slump.
pictures of this dude.
he was
He was on this.
but he was also like a meathead, and he was super ripped, and so that honestly made him look shorter because he was so stocky.
That works too.
Sorry, this is a posture.
Posture
5'3".
issue.
Well, are you 5'5"?
You're just so small.
Do I look taller now?
Yeah. That's better.
5'3".
That's better.
I don't know. I've dated such an array of heights. Like he was 5'8" or whatever. He was short. He always said he was 5'10". I'm like, well, I'm taller than you, and I'm not 5'10". So, but then like there was a couple guys that were like 6'8". I went through an athlete
6'8"
phase.
is crazy.
6'8" is crazy.
I can't even imagine standing next to someone who was 6'8".
As someone who has always been a tall girl, it was fantastic because I felt so small.
I feel like that'd be fantastic for anyone.
I felt so small. Like, just
I would
pick
feel
me up.
tiny. I'm like a baby. I have a friend who's 6'4" or 6'5", and I can't imagine like someone taller than him. Like he
Jacob
is a
Elordi's that
giant to
tall.
me. He's 6'8".
No, 6'5".
Oh yeah,
That's her, like,
he has everything. It's like looks what it has to be like a.
Jacob Elordi is her crush, like her perfect
He
man.
has to have a personality downfall or some type
We could
of.
just
You can't see it on camera,
we're
so
just picking our toes.
I can do whatever I want below my waist.
I don't want to look at these dogs.
It was involuntary. I just started doing it.
I'm just having to look at her like.
I did not notice.
I was just, I don't know.
She just got her
Anyway,
dogs out under here.
stop
picking
looking
away.
at them.
I can't.
But yeah, like I don't know. I did go through a phase where their personality did not matter to me. I was like, oh my God, you're on the basketball team? You're on
I've
the
never-
baseball team?
I've
You're on
never
the football
dated
team?
an athlete.
Like, I went through like a straight 2-year, like they were all athletes. And that's probably why I had such a terrible time.
Probably, yeah.
Track team? Even like, that was the worst one. God.
I've dated one person that was 5'8" and two that were 6'2".
Oh,
And
you
that's
with
it.
the guy that's 6'2" is like, that's a huge difference.
That's a pretty big difference.
I want like skinny without like working out skinny.
Like,
Oh, I thought Nate was like standing up.
he was like,
Me.
yeah, buddy. Like, I
But
got
like
you.
you know like when you just have abs without doing anything.
Okay, but
But like your arms
that
are
stops
skinny.
after like 23.
Not necessarily. I
Without
feel like
working out,
Timothy,
yeah.
Without
well,
doing
Timothy
any,
Chalamet
without
probably
doing
works out.
anything, it does stop.
Yeah,
That
like-
was me. It does stop.
it stops.
Okay,
You
okay.
just become
When you get your adult
Nate.
body, your adult body doesn't just have abs. When you're still growing,
Okay. Yeah.
I was like
I
that for
guess so.
years. I
But
would have to
you're
work
also
now.
young enough that you can still like.
I can still search for that. I would. What's the okay? I'm trying to think of like the youngest age.
Except
I
for
would
I'm not
date.
saying who it is. The one guy you have a crush on that's like 34. There's no way. Well, I don't know. He's very active, so maybe.
Does doing what his profession is like? Is that considered a
Oh,
workout?
yeah, it works your core.
Okay.
For
So
sure.
I bet he does because that's like
What does he do?
all he. So
Wait, do
we're
I
not
know him?
disclosing this.
We're not
disclosing. this on
disclosing
here.
this on here. This is private.
What is this?
One of her crushes. We can't say who it is.
Oh, okay, yeah. I bet he doesn't.
You don't think he does?
Doesn't have abs. Okay, it's not. I don't.
think
I don't
could-
have. I'm not saying like, oh, I have to. No, it's just like
Like
it's a
skinny boy
perk.
abs.
Like
I think
skinny.
he might
Yeah.
I don't think he does. I think he could very easily
because
I-
he's skinny.
because he's skinny, but I think he doesn't because he's older.
Because he's 34.
Yeah. You might see a hint of him, but he won't have them anymore.
So like, there's the thing. His frontal lobe's been closed for like 9 years, and yours isn't even formed. I don't know how that's gonna go.
You're telling me this now? You've been all for it.
No, I
until
am
this
still all
point.
for it. I am still all for it. I'm just like, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean,
We gotta
in-
make eye contact first.
realistically, realistically, it's not gonna happen.
Realistically, we gotta make eye contact first, and maybe have a little convo. Maybe a little.
I don't even know. I don't even know what we would talk about. We have nothing. I don't think we have anything in common. It's just like it's one of those.
It's a lust.
It's almost like a celebrity crush.
We're giving people too many hints.
No, I'm saying in the way that it's like, it's unattainable. Like,
Yeah.
you're probably not gonna.
Except in
And
like 3 years when y'all are getting married, and then we look back at this and we're gonna have a laugh.
Put your guess in the comments.
No.
We're giving. There's no way he watches this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There's no
Right,
way he watches
right.
this.
Right?
Right.
Next time we see him, hey, I saw your video.
Yeah, I've been watching those
like-
those Catching Up with Katie's.
Hey, Abigail.
He's just like this. He's making the best eye
Like,
contact.
so much eye contact. That's hilarious.
No, in reality, he sees me. He's like, "What was your name again?"
What's hilarious is the
You
entire
knew.
comment section when this is posted, they're gonna be like,
They're gonna know
They're
immediately.
just gonna know who
They're
it
gonna
is.
know immediately. Whatever.
"It's fine.
You know what
Hey,
I'm
maybe
saying?
that's your in. Maybe that's your in."
I'm so embarrassed. So embarrassed.
No, that's gonna be your in. We'll work it out.
It's going to work.
I can't give any more hints. I was gonna say some things, but it'll be way too obvious, so we can't talk about
No.
it. But
Yeah.
we will. Hey, if it ends up working out, we'll disclose it.
So it's probably never gonna be disclosed, but whatever.
What were some other things we were gonna talk about? We've gotten so off the rails. I don't think maybe we didn't have
Well,
anything else.
we were just gonna talk about the Congress and then the upcoming.
I know what we were going to talk about first, though, before that, because that is a good topic, and I think we should end on it. But, so we're coming up on 2 years of the YouTube channel, of Matt and Nate being a part of the crew. We would like to do a company cruise, and Nate is putting a kibosh on it. I think we need some type of
Skill
skill building event,
team building.
team building.
I agree.
What would you suggest?
A regular trip.
To where?
I think it would be really cool. Maybe something Wyoming-esque.
We
Something
go
where
ride
you get
horses.
really
I want
awesome
tropical.
views. We can do tropical. We can do both. We'll just have 2 legs
I want
for the vacation.
vacation. I don't want like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to truly like us go hang out and do nothing somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go like, that sounds like a lot of work. I want to go out west, but
But you want the type of vacation where you can just like
Or
lay
just
out
be.
and you're just like you
Like,
don't
we all
have
just
to
hang
go
out.
somewhere and do something.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the type of vacation. Like when you go to the beach and you just go to the beach.
Is it for 2 years? Is anything off the table?
Hawaii's a little expensive.
Dang.
Probably in the country, probably,
In
unless
the-
we do a cruise, because cruises you can get some pretty good deals on.
Oh, I want to go to Europe.
You were gonna go to Europe?
I want to go to Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were choosing, I would probably also choose Europe.
I've
But
never been.
Okay.
I don't know what we would
Let's
do
be a
there.
little. That's also one of those trips where you go to like.
We would have to plan stuff
That's
out.
so much planning.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's off the table for like if we figured out a way to make that a work trip, we could possibly do that.
Easy.
But just for relaxing.
But just this is what I'm talking about. I want like us to go all hang out and not be on the clock and not be working and like
Yeah.
we're just
not have anywhere we have to
like
be.
bond building.
I've already planned the pitch for a Europe trip for work. I already know how to make it a work trip.
I want to go on a cruise.
I think so.
Because then we
too.
don't have to drive anywhere.
It's so great.
We can eat whatever we want, drink whatever we want.
I think wherever we go, it should be all inclusive.
Yeah.
What if we all just went to Sandals? Are you just going to be the fifth wheel?
Are the other two Nate and Macy? Who are you talking about?
Oh wait, what am I talking
Yeah,
about?
who's the
Because there would
fifth?
be way more than that if
Yeah.
the wives came.
Yeah. If it was just a work trip,
I don't see Matt doing that.
going on a trip for fun.
Yeah.
You don't see it?
I don't know. I can't picture Matt relaxing. He would
He
be
is
he would be pacing the entire trip on the phone, pacing.
On the phone pacing the entire time. He does have a nice little like amped upness to him.
He does for sure.
Yeah.
Jonathan would be so down. Like, we've been talking about, we want to go on a trip so bad that's like non-work related, like everywhere we go, obviously we get really cool experiences. Obviously it's fun. Like, we are very blessed, but we would like to go on a trip where we never went on a honeymoon either. Like, we'd like to just go somewhere and just like chill.
Also, like, it would be mostly relaxing, but we could also make really cool stuff out of that.
We're
while we're
making
there.
YouTube videos if
Yeah,
we go on
For
a trip.
sure.
But who all would you want to take on this work trip?
So we could do one. Here's the thing. And this is just me like wishfully thinking. This don't have to be like the only thing we ever do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the only thing. I would love to do an OG trip. So like me, you, Matt, Nate, Jonathan.
The core.
Like the core group. But then we could do a trip where, you know, Danny and Abra and like, you know, like the new, like,
Yeah.
branch out a little bit. That could be something as simple as Florida.
That can be local.
Yeah.
That can stay in the States.
That can stay in the
Like in the state, where would we go?
No, that can stay in the States.
Oh, I thought you said in the state. I was like, what would we do?
Gatlinburg. Baby. Gatlinburg, baby. Honestly, though, that'd be hilarious.
I've been to so many Gatlinburg trips, like, through my life. That's the only place we went for vacation
I've only been
growing
once.
up. I've been so many times.
I think
It would be fun, though, because we could stay in, like, a cabin and just go hiking.
I feel like we would stress Abra out.
Yeah,
We would stress her out.
for sure. We stressed her out over the course of
2 days.
2 days, so...
Abra is my brand manager, and like she literally keeps my life straight. And she went on a trip with us to Austin, Texas, just for 2 days, and we stressed her out. Now there's an age gap. Like, she's like our, you know, mother figure age. So she's gonna be so mad that I said that.
Yep.
She's gonna be. She's an older sister.
Okay, but she looks like she's in her 30s.
She does. Like, she literally looks so good. She looks in her 30s.
She looks so young.
But she's in her 40s. And so you could just tell we were like the children stressing her out.
Yeah.
Like, we slept in so much more on that one day that we had that was free. And she was like, well, I've been waiting at the pool. Well, and I'm like,
I already had breakfast.
well, okay. I guess we should kind of just wrap it up with like some chatting about the Congress and World Show. What did you think about the Congress with it being your second time going? Like, the first time we went last year, you had barely worked here. You didn't know a lot. We didn't really know each other. So
I had a better time.
You did. We were there a little longer this year too.
Mm-hmm. It helped that we had separate beds. We had separate beds.
That was just like a weird first.
It was really similar in a lot of ways, I feel like, because we had DoorDash Chick-fil-A last year, like, one night.
Yeah.
And I think we also DoorDash Chick-fil-A, or we had Chick-fil-A in our hotel room.
did.
We had the chocolate-covered potato chips. We were snacking on those in bed last year. We did the same thing this year.
Yeah.
But, like, it was fun. We didn't ever have to be up super early for anything. We kind of
That one morning we did.
Yeah. We kind of just took our time and then got there, and I like shopping. That part's fun.
We got to do a lot more shopping this year, I felt like. And we spaced it out. And we watched, I think, a lot of different classes. Like, last year, because we were watching Hank's show, and, like, I felt like we watched the same thing over and over and over again. Whereas this year, you know, we watched The Lunch Line, we watched The Pleasure Driving, we watched a little bit of The Western Pleasure when Aaron was showing. We watched,
Yeah.
I don't think we watched Cindy Hunter's Saddle. We watched a little jumping, you know.
Yeah. We definitely had, like, more stuff occupying our time this time, which I prefer. It was good, though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I think you're going to enjoy the World Show. Now, here's the thing about the World Show. So, the Quarter Horse Congress is always in October. It's always like the full month of October, and it is the largest single breed horse show in the world because there's no qualification. It has every class, every age group. It has level 1, level 2, level 3. Like, it's very wide variety. And it also has walk trot classes. It has EWD classes. Like, there's so much there. Whereas at the World Show, it's a little more exclusive. It's like you have to qualify for it. It's always in November, and it's the open world show and the amateur world show put together. So it's all of the professional classes and the amateur classes, which is if I was showing what I'd be showing in. And there's not like as many futurities. Like at the Congress, there's maturities, futurities, lots of different age classes. There's limited and not like there's so many classes. Whereas at the World Show, it's like Western riding. That's it. Like they have it leveled within the class, but amateur Western riding, amateur horsemanship, amateur hunter. You know, like it's a lot less. And so I think not as many people go to it due to the fact that there's not as many options for classes, but then you also have to qualify. So you have to haul all year and qualify for it. So it's like lower numbers in the classes, but those that are there are like amazing.
Yeah.
I have not been to the World Show since 2014.
10 years?
Yeah. Like, I haven't been to OKC since then because we showed there multiple times a year for so long when I was showing heavily. And then when I aged out of youth, I didn't go to the World Show because I didn't really have like a horse that I was good enough with to do it. I had a couple of like flipper horses that were younger. And then I did have one that was really nice, but that deal kind of fell through right before the Congress. So that's before the World Show. So I had qualified, but I was leasing it and it got sold. So I hadn't qualified on my older gelding. So I took him to the Congress and we got third in the EC at the Congress, but I didn't get to go to the World Show. So I'm very excited to go. It's not quite the same as Congress because there's not as much going on, but I think they do a lot more like evening events. It's a lot more low key. There is some shopping still, but not quite as much. I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool.
I think it'll be fun. It'll be a little bit more stressful, I think, just because we're
I'm gonna be stressed
actually
out.
like rooting for someone. But it'll be fun because Matt and Nate are going, and it'll be everybody.
Have you decided? It was
at least
just
for
Matt.
some of it.
I imagine I'll have to go for some of it.
Oh,
If we're going to do something like this while we're there,
right. I would like to.
I will have to be there.
I did get us a fat Airbnb because y'all are all coming. My parents are coming. Rebecca's coming. Like, it's going to be a full house. It's going to be awesome. So here's the thing with the World Show. And I don't want to put any pressure on it because if Denver doesn't win or doesn't place or whatever, he's still a fantastic horse and we still are super excited for his show career. So what Denver, my young stallion, is showing in is called the versatility. It's the pleasure versatility. So they go into one class. It's all 3-year-olds, so they can only do it this year. They do a Western pleasure class. They do a pattern, and the pattern is a mixture of like it has lead changes in it. It has pole work in it. It has spins. It has everything that, like little pieces from horsemanship, trail, and Western riding, all into one pattern. And then they also do halter. So they'll look at their conformation. So I think halter is like 20% of it, and then the other 2 are 40%. And they each get placed in each category, and then there's an overall placing. So that is his debut into the show world. That is his debut as his, like, you know, if he does well, I'm going to be breeding to him regardless next year to a few of my mares, just because he is fantastic and we plan on showing him for many years to come. But, you know, as far as the book that we're going to have open for him next year, that might depend on how he does this year. You know, I don't know. So he does have a wait list right now that we're kind of waiting to see how many we're going to open it up to. I think there's like 80 on it. So we're going to see how many we're going to allow to be bred to him next year. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be like in the 25 range, but we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be stressed out.
Probably.
I think he's talented enough to do very well in it. I think it just matters. I mean, I already know some of the horses that are in it. They are fantastic. So talented. There's a VS Code Red daughter in it that I'm like, oh, she's amazing. So, you know,
We'll see.
We'll just have to see. And Aaron is a fantastic jockey, fantastic trainer. I believe he's shown in it twice, and both times he's been reserve. So he was second. Cool. We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
But
I think that's about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it. I feel like we've chatted a lot. It's been a yappy episode.
It
Yeah.
has.
But I think I liked it. So there was no rhyme or reason to literally anything we talked about. But
No, except for like the last 5 minutes.
and I talked the most of it. But anyway, so hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Let me know any other topics that you would like for us to include. Let us know what you think about a sip and paint episode, a Jenga episode.
Jenga.
Bingo.
Just any ideas that you think or have questions about. We would love to hear it. Or if you have anybody you'd like to see on here as a guest. So hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one.